Hi there, this is DarkDragon from the Gaming Steve forums, and well, I'm doing this tutorial series for the Gaming Steve members who just got Gmod and don't know how to use it, and mainly, well, anyone who got Gmod and wants to learn about it, because Gmod does have tutorials. If you press F1 you'll get this window and it has 3 tutorials, but they don't teach you everything you need to know about it. And most people like to just go on multiplayer and start messing around, and they'll probably piss off a lot of people who got Gary's mod earlier. So with this tutorial series, I hope you learn how to use it. I hope it's useful for you or helpful, and let's start. I'm gonna start by teaching you the basics of the menu you'll work with most of the time. If you haven't changed any of the key bindings for Gary's mod, when you press Q you get this menu, and on the left side you have like stuff that you can spawn, and on the right side you have stuff that you can use. On the top left side you got props, browse, NPCs, weapons, vehicles, and entities. On the top left side you have tools, post-processing, utilities, and options. I'm gonna teach you the left side first, with props selected. On this list here you got the props for all the games you own, so if you own Team Fortress 2 you'll have props of Team Fortress 2, Portal, Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 2, Day of Defeat, Counter-Strike Source, and other games that I haven't selected because if I go back here in Gmod settings I forgot to turn on this stuff for my other games, which I will do on later tutorials. And let's start by, well, if you want to spawn something, so let's say you want a barrel, you take the mouse up on the barrel, over the barrel, click on it, and now you have a barrel. If you want 2 more barrels, you just click on them. Don't worry about the weapon I'm using right now. It's more of a tool than a weapon, but it will be mostly what you'll be working with on Gary's mod. And sorry for this airplane that is, well, if you can hear it, there's an airplane that's blocking my voice, but hope you can still hear me. So right now I spawn 3 barrels, and then I can remove them by pressing Z. I can undo anything that I do by pressing Z. Unfortunately there is no redo key in Gmod, so if you want to do something you're screwed, and you didn't want to do it, then you're screwed. Otherwise, if you wanted to do it, you're not screwed. There is an add-on. Well, I'll have to teach you how to install add-ons at some time. But there's an add-on that lets you redo stuff, or at least I haven't tested it yet, but if you want add-ons you can go on garysmod.org and you can find out how to install them somewhere else, or I'll do a video on it later if there's enough requests. And okay, you can spawn a chair, you can smack it against the ground, shoot it, it will break. And now browse. Browse is kind of like the props, but you have to browse where you want, like the folder where the prop is. So if I go to Day of Defeat and go to Effects, there's like these rocks here, so I can spawn a rock. And yeah, that's basically it for the browse menu thing. NPCs are just like the NPCs in games. So if I spawn a Dr. Kleiner here, and yeah, he doesn't really do anything. You can smack him, killing. He's good for testing weapons and stuff you do. And there's animals, and if you're gonna ask why Father Gregory is in animals, that's a joke that Gary made, because he kinda looks like an animal, really. Well, he is an animal in theory, and well, it looks like a guy that would sit all day on a bench feeding the birds.
My power was lost in places which were not mine.
Okay, he's talking to me. And then you have humans plus resistance, and zombies and combine as well. On the downside of on the bottom left side, you got these options: disable AI, so they'll ignore other NPCs and you. Ignore players, they'll ignore you and other people in your server or in some server. Keep corpses, I recommend that you keep this selected, because if you spawn someone and then kill them, you see I can undo them now. But if you don't have keep corpses selected, when you kill them they'll stay there and you can touch them, you can move them. They'll be like there, but you can't do anything with them. And allow to join player squad, so if I spawn a rebel, they'll join my squad.
I'll come with you.
See, he follows me and stuff. Then weapons. Well, if you have Counter-Strike, get these weapons from Counter-Strike source. Or if you installed weapons and some that come with Gmod. Then we have vehicles. These are the Half-Life 2 vehicles and some vehicles that come with Gmod. So if I spawn a jalopy and go inside it by pressing E, I can drive it around. And I enter the vehicle and exit the vehicle by pressing the use key, which is E, and then drive it around with the WASD keys. And if you want to change the view inside the vehicle, you press Ctrl, so it changes between third person and first person view. I removed it, that's why I left it. And then you have entities. In entities you have, well, they're basically like props, but the props just static stuff. They don't do anything unless you tell them to do something with the tools that you have on the right side. But entities on the other side are kind of like scripted already, so you can do stuff with them. This is like a bouncy ball, you can play around with it. And then you have the medicine device. But there's lots of entities on Gmod.org that you can download and play around with. On the right side we have tools, which is divided between constraints, construction, poser, and render. I'll explain these on the next episodes, let's call them episodes of this tutorial series. Then you have post-processing. This is like stuff that happens in your screen. So motion blur, you get motion blur, and there's settings here they can do, like head transparency, draw transparency, frame capture delay. And you have overlay. This is like stuff to show up on top of your screen. So right now I'm on drugs apparently. And you can pick up the refract amount. Let me go. I'm pressing C right now so that I don't have the whole screen, the whole menu blocking